In order to understand particular personality traits and inner nature of every nation, it's important to pay special attention to their national games. Kazakhs are warlike people. They spend their majority of their nomadic life in the saddle horses. That's why horse is considered to be wings of a man. Our ancestors said about this animal, if you will be able to tame a horse, it will become your transport. If you will milk it, it will give you kumus. This judgment has its historical roots. Since the time of Saks and Huns, our ancestors were in close connection with horses. In general, horse breeding has its deep roots on the Kazakh land. And from the Kazakh land, it spread out around the world. For the first time, a mystique around horses was created by Kazakhs in the Neolithic period. If we consider the last period of the Stone Age, since then it has been 5,000 years. If we start the report from the beginning of our times, then it will be 6,000 years. Kazakh people have a lot of games that they're proud to talk about. One of them is Kokpar. Today, Kokpar is played according to special rules and it's a team game. Kokpar is played by the rules of 12 people per team, 12 or 4 by 4. This is a great world of sports. Cattle farmers went for hunting for the extermination of the gray wolf. It turns out that in those days, after killing a wolf on the way back to the village, men were competing to see who will bring it first home. That's how the game Kokburi appeared. Today we know it as the game Kokpar. One of the Asian games that is inherited by our people from generation to generation is Kazakh. In 1923, competitions for this sport were held for the first time on the Kazakh land. Today, the game has its own special rules. It became part of the festive program. Kazakhs, when sitting in the saddle, always stayed on a horse. At a full gallop, they would pick up an item they liked from the ground and used it. Shambatu sports. Competition in shooting was also a sport. At a full gallop, they shot arrows right on target at the silver discs. During the uprising of Kenesari Han, there were brilliant warriors who were able to hit the targets without missing it. Archery competitions were held on a regular basis. There were such well-known Kazakh riflemen as Tolibay and Sarubas. Mashhur Jusub said that during his participation in the competition in Bukhara, Tolibay launched an arrow at Golden Disc, and his arrow still stuck in the same place. No one could snatch the arrow of Tolibay, and he won this competition. There are about 100 types of Kazakh national sports. There are about 20 that are played sitting on a saddle horse. It conveys that Kazakhs were able to masterfully stay in the saddle, demonstrates how well they studied the horses, and that in any case they can act quickly on their feet. Therefore, any Kazakh has a special love for the horses and feels especially comfortable in the saddle. When I am in the saddle, I find myself in a special state of mind. When my feet are above the ground and are in the stirrups, I do not look down. My gaze is directed only upwards. I guess that's why Kazakh people direct their gaze upwards too. Every cell in the human body, every muscle is working through coordination while he's on the horse, from his feet to the crown of his head, from toes to the tips of his ears. The entire circulatory system is in clear focus and concentration in the saddle. Kazakhs, in fact, were once warlike people. The very image of their lives is imprinted in the horse. Anything poet would write about, or anything he will sing about, all this is connected to the horse and daily life of Kazakhs. There are many warriors or batirs among Kazakhs. All of them defended their homeland, their country. Each batir would have his own horse, and the horse would have its own batir.
Қазақта ер-тұрманды жасайтын адамдарды ершілер деп атайтын.
Kazakhs called people making horse harness saddle masters. They often worked for the people and made all the necessary horse equipment. If we talk about a set of horse harness, they're divided into different types, different groups, and they differ depending on the territory they're made on. People who made saddle with accessories should have been masters of all trades. The master must be capable of working with wood, leather, or metal, because different materials are used for the manufacturing of a saddle. Saddle itself is made of wood, then it's covered with leather, and later it is framed with metal.
Сүйегі ағаштан жасалады да, ол терімен қапталып, содан соң жаңағы металдармен көмкерілетін болған.
Kazakh people who loved to ride in the saddle paid special attention to the animal's harness. In ancient times, equestrian equipment was used for hunting, and later it was used for domestic purposes and as a decoration. Horse harness used in everyday life was simple. At the time, harness was specially decorated for the girls of marriageable age, to marry or for celebrations, as well as for storage as a family heritage. Kazakh people thought about the future of their children and emphasized the fact that these children should grow as noble people. For this reason, traditional games were invented and used as the main tool for raising children. Kazakh national games are aimed at cultivating the courage and boldness, bravery and agility, as well as strength and resistance of the body. Kazakh national games appear under the influence of the nature and the economy. They are closely related to our work life and our Asian nomadic life. For example, Kazakhs played Asik or Tapai games. These games are still played due to rich cattle farming. Lamb bone in the Achilles tendon is called a sik. Originally, this game is played by the boys. Children are divided into two teams, and their aim is to try accurately knock down as many siks as possible.
Қазіргі таңда қазақтың ұлттық ойынын 100-ден аса түрі бар дейді ғалымдар.
To date, scientists have more than 100 types of Kazakh national games. They are divided into several varieties. In particular, it relates to livestock, pets, and games with different things. For example, the modern games for sports purposes are connected with horses and archery. There are such different games. Games which are designed for small children are aimed at the development of their logic. For example, the game Togus Kumalak belongs to intellectual types of games. In my opinion, this game is not inferior to chess.
Шахматпен салыстырсақ та кем болмайды деп өзім ойлаймын.
This is Togus Kumalak game. It was played by our ancestors. In the game Togus Kumalak, we use a special board with 2 rows, each row of 9 small holes called otao and 2 large holes called kazan. Usually it is played by 2 people. Kumalaks are like beads. There are 162 Kumalaks. Who collects in its coffers the majority of Kumalaks wins. The game itself is only calculation. In ancient times, our ancestors, the shepherds, played it, so it's also called the algebra of the shepherds. Togus Kumalak is a very useful game for the formation of intellectual abilities in an individual. Since 1974, Kazakhstan held the official competition in this game. In 1998, the competition for Togus Kumalak was organized. The World Championship was attended by international and experienced players from 23 countries such as Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Mongolia, and Russia. We consider Togus Kumalak as a gift from our ancestors. It develops logical abilities in young people, teaches such qualities as patience, concentration, and numeracy.
Ой жайлау шөбің шүйгін суыңдар болады қалқым менен ақын сәні ой жайлау ерейенненге шырқап ортаңызда жиналған елім жұрты жас пен кәрі ой жайлау
The peculiarity of the Kazakh national games is that they are aimed at education of human values and views. Altıbakan is a place where young people are singing songs, play the lute, joke around, have fun, and play. Young people had a chance to express their appreciation and love for each other in the open air, under the swaying Altıbakan. Gathered at dawn by Altıbakan, beautiful Kazakh girls and carefree boys went home with the first rays of the morning sun.